All right, so hold on. So I'm gonna ask you questions. I know we out here. We about to get into our campus situation, but I'm gonna answer the questions, the bikes, whatever, like that, and it's gonna be based off my own experience, right, and my own knowledge and my own research, and you just using my logic and my own common sense, right? So my example is a black dude, right, that I met through somebody else, and he called himself a god. Actually, they called each other god, but I'm just gonna talk about the black male. He called himself a god, right? Of course, I didn't believe that shit, right? And I have my hold on. I have my reasons why I don't believe that, right? That man was a god. What is the definition of a god? Pretty much, it's an energy that is they call it the all, right, in spiritual world, like on the black conscious community, right? And this guy is a more, all right. You need to put that out there too. So all knowing, perfect knowledge, perfect wisdom, perfect understanding, the ruler and the creator of the universe. That's what the definition of God is. And the conscious community tells me that we are all descendants of the all descendants of the creator. So I'm like, okay, then fine, right? So what did the creator create? You can't be called a creator unless you created something. The creator created earth. It created the mountains. It created the sky. It created the stars. It created me and you as human beings, right? And one thing that I know that all those things that are linked together, those are things that were never created before, ever, right? Ever. When we look at us as human beings, let's just start off with that. Since we're all human beings, right? Let's start off with that. As human beings, we are unique, right? We got one DNA. There is nobody in the world exactly like you, right? You got one fingerprint, a set of DNA markers and genetics. There's nobody in the world exactly like you. So that is uniqueness, right? That is uniqueness in creation. I feel like if you are a God, if you are truly a God in human form, then you should be able to create something that's never been created before. Now, when I look at that guy who's a Moor, right? He has a health. No, I ain't gonna say his name. His name ain't even important. It's just what we're talking about. He has a health store, right? Right? And he's sitting running his store in the video holding a watermelon, talking about how the benefits of the watermelon is to the world or to other human beings, right? Now, when I look at that health store, it's an accomplishment for him, right? But when you start as a human being, right, that's an accomplishment as a human being. But when you're talking about a God, there's millions of fucking health stores all over the world. There's millions of health stores or health places that sell the exact same shit that he sells. And it's saying the exact same shit that he's saying pretty much. You know what I'm saying? That's not unique to me. That's not God-like to me. You can call a person God all you want. That's not God-like to me. What's God-like is being able to tap into your uniqueness as a human being, your essence as a human being, right? And be able to create something out of your mind and out of your thought that has never been created before in the history of the world. The way you operate it, the way you envision it, the way you create it, all that shit, and the way it's run. Nobody has that shit, right? So when I look at that type of shit, and another thing too about that situation is I don't have no problem with somebody being a Christian. I know somebody no problem with somebody being a Moor or what their belief system is. By the fact that you're calling yourself something that you didn't create lets me know you're not a God as well, right? See, I think a true God is going to be able to create a system and a value system and a behavioral system that's never been created before because he is going to tap into who he is, right? So everybody has a purpose, right? You're born in this world, you have a purpose. So whatever your purpose is, you're going to create a code of ethics and a value system in order to obtain God's purpose for you, for yourself, right? That's what I'm believing that a God is. You're not going to follow somebody else's doctrine made by another human being and stuff and everything like that and follow that to get to your purpose. Fuck no, I'm not believing that shit. You're going to fucking follow whatever it is that you see inside yourself. You're going to create your own shit. You're going to create something unique. You're going to create something that's different. You're going to create something that's never been created before, and you're going to be able to get to your God's purpose and be able to get to your true purpose in this world. That's what when I look at somebody being a guy, that's what I look at. Right now, black males are just running with that shit because that shit sound good. Now, I'm going to give you another thing. All right, I know y'all got questions or whatever. I'm going to give y'all another thing. When he's talking about the watermelon shit, right? You know what I'm saying? Talking about the benefits of the watermelon. And I know somebody specifically that he done gave herbs to, food to, and all that type of shit and everything like that, which is a good thing, right? But kind of not a good thing. It's good out of gesture, right? But that dude didn't know what the fuck he was talking about. Because right now to this day, I'll tap into with that woman and she will still tell me like, man, I still ain't found the foods and everything that's going to give me the results that I want in my life, the energy that I need. I still need something else. I still ain't good with my diet or whatever like that, right? So my thing is this, is that sitting in front of a store with a watermelon telling people they should eat this is not cool, dude, because everybody is different. Like everything that's nutritious for somebody else is going to be bad for somebody else in the world. Right? I know right now, I like peanut butter. Everybody know if you eat peanut butter, it's got a lot of protein in it and it helps a lot of people, right? But somebody else, I know somebody else right now who can eat some fucking peanut butter and they get hives all over their face, right? So that's unhealthy for them, but it may be unhealthy for me. See, all these dudes out here trying to deliver this knowledge and everything like that. Knowledge is supposed to solve problems in your life. That's when you attain knowledge. So if that woman was like, hey, I need something that's going to be able to help me with energy, and you give her that, right, and it helps, then that's something that helps her. You can't give something to every single body. You have to individualize the person. That's why I feel like people don't be knowing what the fuck they be talking about, right? So that's just my idea on it, man. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to open this up for questions in a second, but we have to really start looking at what a God really is. You know what I'm saying? And from talking to that dude or whatever, and he's not just the only one. A lot of these dudes got this mask of spirituality on, but they got a nigga inside their brain. And I can pull that shit out just by asking questions. And I asked that man questions. He ain't the only one. I asked all these different dude questions, and I start seeing that nigga come out. I already start seeing all the other shit come out and everything. If you're a spiritual man, right? If you're a spiritual man, you should love yourself, I'm feeling, and you should be able to love others. There's nothing in my line of questioning that should make you feel like you have to pull a gun on me. By the fact that a person would say that, lets me know what's in your mentality. You can't hide from me when you talk to me in them line of questioning. I'm going to figure it out. But that's just my perspective on it. Other people may feel their perspective. You ask me my question about where I feel a God is and all that. That's just my perspective on it. Other people have their perspective on it. But I just look at the results. Can you do the same thing that the Creator did? Create something that's never been created before in the history of the world. Can you do that? If you cannot do that, right, then you're not no God to me at all. So I'm gonna take the first question. Cindy, go ahead and with your question. We're gonna talk to you first.